LeBron James? Okay, put that one over there. What does LeBron James eat, and where does he go
Can't
at
meet
night?
an AI co-host.
When will the whole show be LeBron James and the other guy whose name I don't remember will die? Okay, are they all like this? Ooh, here's a good one. Hi RM, love your show. Just kidding, this is another LeBron James question. Does he like doo-wop?
Oh, great question. And I think I could feel that one with this. Ooh,
Oh, the AI is really struggling with that one.
Earth angel, Earth angel.
Yeah, my man's out here trying to get a girlfriend right now. Okay, that was the AI robot LeBron James with Earth Angel. You guys might not have liked that, but your kids are gonna love this person of the day.
Co-workers can do that.
I actually saw Back to the Future 2 for the first time on Caroline's stream because she does occasionally do free movies on YouTube, and I guess Back to the Future 2 was among them. It was a pretty good flick.
The influence part. So when you're going through whatever you're talking about, that life is so incredibly challenging, how much of it is real stress? And by the way,
there is a paladin in here with me. There is a Rep paladin in here with me. Rep pallies are really strong this patch. Rep pallies are really, really strong. Not only as far as the damage they can do. Yeah, they want me over here. It makes sense. But they've got a lot of great utility as well.
some of you that are watching is like, you don't know kind of a life I'm living and how hard it is. If you're going through asking and starting to how hard life is,
I love
you're
this
already
guy.
out of this conversation.
Patrick Bet
Stop the
David.
video, go watch a video with the sound of waves coming in, right? Or go listen to some white noise or a cat playing with each other and saying how much they love each other, because I'm not your cup of tea.
Do we have another one? We don't. Okay. We don't.
Cats playing with each other and saying how much they love each other.
Hey guys, Tony here. I hope you're doing well. I'm down at the local conference in Miami, having a good time. I've had quite a few drinks. I just came up to my room from the opening event.
Oh man, you know you're going live, and it's a good idea to do so when you say in your intro, "Yeah, I've had a few drinks." Like, oh, really? Okay, that sounds fun.
I had a few drinks. Sounds like this. I was straight up acting like
a cat playing with each other and saying how much they love each other.
And I do have a Rep Pally Power Crisis. I have not had the time to devote to my alts that I had hoped for because it has been a very competitive raiding tier, and I want to raid, so I need to invest time in my main to do so. But there is always a cooling period, an off season, a time when there is plenty of time to invest in alts. And don't worry, my Rep Paladin's on my list. Just like your Kiss is on my list. By Hall & Oates.
We got to talk about the big news today. Kamala Harris came out in support of crypto, but the way her and her team went about it is asinine. This is completely pathetic.
Aw, they didn't do it in the way you like.
She said she will support crypto in hopes that it will help black men. And I don't know why.
Oh, you didn't like that, huh?
I guess I do know the answer why. This is a political move trying to get more votes, obviously. And
we need equality. All people, no matter what they look like, need to have the opportunity to be able to get scammed equally.
All right.
Of the best things in life.
What, equality?
No, there's another part at the end.
People? Okay, what the hell is this from?
What?
Oh, this is from a press release from Kamala Harris. Okay, it's
skipping
about
this
what
pack?
she's going to do for black men, okay? But
We're
what
definitely
does
not
it say
skipping
here?
it, 'cause there goes
Enabling
the tank.
black men who hold digital assets to benefit from financial innovation, okay? More than 20% of black Americans own or have owned, wait a second, own or have owned, okay, cryptocurrency assets. Vice President Harris appreciates the way in which new technologies can broaden access to banking and financial services.
Oh, good for her. Glad she
sounds
does
kinda
that.
like a promo for crypto. She will make sure owners of and investors in digital assets benefit from a regulatory framework so that black men and others who participate in the market are protected. Okay? Okay. Yeah, I don't know. It's a little vague, you know. What exactly are you going to do? Yeah, you should probably crack down on crypto scams. That'd probably be good. A lot of these crypto scams are like
A cat playing with each other and saying how much they love each other.
but that would kind of just be cracking down on scams.
That is how cats
overall
behave.
for everybody, right? No. The way it worded does seem to be promoting crypto a lot. Vice President Harris appreciates the way in which this crap is so cool and access to banking and financial services. Yeah, it's a little weird. It does sound like she's trying to get more people into crypto. I don't get it. I don't get it.
One key part of this election cycle is the rise of crypto super PACs and the impact they're making on both sides of the aisle. Let's get to Mackenzie Sagawas with that story. Morning, Mackenzie.
Go ahead, Mackenzie.
Hey, good morning,
Good morning,
Carl.
Mackenzie.
So those crypto super PACs, which are outraising the big banks and oil this cycle, are now starting to warm up to Democratic presidential nominee Kamala Harris.
Okay.
And FEC.
Okay, think I get it now. All right. Do we have any other people today? Oh, we do have one more, and this one connects. Because if anybody tries to crypto scam me, you're going to get one of these.
I don't want to fight.
Yo, stop walking away. Fight me.
Hey, leave that guy alone, man.
Do you know what to do if you've never been in a fight? You've got to be aggressive.
Exactly.
So if he gets pushed,
I've actually been served this guy's shorts on the rare times that I venture into the YouTube Shorts platform. Usually when I'm like right about to fall to sleep and want some last minute brain rot, I've actually been served this guy in my shorts. This guy's fucking awesome.
he has to turn around, face me, and
You got to go like this and let them know that.
I'm a perfectly stable individual.
Then you give them one of these. Hey, stop looking at that public art. I'll kick your ass. Hey, stop looking at that publicly funded art, or I'm going to kick you right in the...
Left nut.
Okay. Oh, come on.
Hey, you loser.
Hey, you loser, what do you think this public art represents? Hey, look, I don't want any trouble. I just think it represents architecture out of context. You know, so we kind of re-examine and rethink it. Yeah, right.
Oh, yeah.
what is this
I
guy?
guess the paladin decided we're pulling
goat.
those.
The self-defense greatest of all time. He teaches people how to defend that ass. This came up for me on TikTok. Does TikTok know somebody's about to kick my ass? TikTok's like, get ready.
Get ready, a lot of people don't like you.
I really like this guy, but his TikTok story is funny because he clearly runs out of self-defense ideas toward the end. There's all these videos where he's like, if you're in an empty warehouse parking lot by yourself, and there's a guy there, stay away. Stay with that guy.
Yeah.
Probably trying to kill you. That guy seems like he's just on his phone.
No one's
Probably
hanging
trying to
out in a
kill you.
warehouse parking lot for
Gotta kill him
fun.
first.
hey, I don't want to fight, man. I don't want to fight.
Hey,
Hey,
he
don't
said
wanna
he
fight,
wanna-
man.
Hey, shut up. Hey, whoa, whoa, whoa. Hey, shut up for a second, man. No, I
Damn,
didn't
he's-
mean- Hey, that guy said
He's really hitting him with the talk to the hand there. That's
he didn't
crazy.
want to fight you, renegade. Now look at you. Face all smushed. Face looking like this.
I'm having a hard time.
When you're approaching somebody, especially on the corner, give
Exactly.
yourself a little bit more distance. I call that a reactionary gap.
Never
It's going
thought
to
of
give you
that.
time
You
to
call
actually
it a
prevent
reactionary
something from
gap.
happening.
Before you give him the
Guy 20
ocular
feet
pat
from me on his
down, make
phone.
sure you got a
You're in my
reactionary gap.
reactionary gap. Hey!
Best way to destroy the West
The where?
is through its own goodness and highest principles.
Oh, the
If
mighty
you come in
West.
through the door of free speech,
The mighty
Well,
that's a
West.
very valuable cudgel that you wield.
All right.
If you come in through diversity, which is
No.
in one context and definition, is
Okay.
in fact the beauty and power of America, which
Right.
is different than when Trudeau says it, because America.
But in
is.
another
And you
context,
come in through that trap door, it gets very difficult and the arguments get complicated.
Trapdoor now.
People's reference points get jumbled. So it's like every
I've been saying that.
protester isn't John Lewis, right? Everybody we start to get confused about which things are off limits and which things aren't.
Okay, wow, we haven't checked in with this guy in a while.
Nice.
What's the name of
Jordy
the guy's
B.
name? Jordan
Peterson.
Russell Peters. Haven't checked in with Russell Peters in a long time, and this might be his new best video. You can see right off the top how good this is. He's like, I love freedom of speech, I love diversity, but they're ruining everything.
Yeah.
We gotta stop it. It's just led to too many bad things.
it's making
like-
everything
Cats
worse,
playing
bro.
with each other and saying how much they love each other.
Shouldn't be allowed. Okay, so here we go. Whoa, wait, hold on a second. Why has he got his hands up like that? He's in my reactionary distance. Okay, so for like 20 minutes, these guys go on and on
He
about,
might.
hey, maybe certain protests we don't like, maybe that shouldn't happen. Maybe we
He
need
might
to
have
crack down on
lewds.
this freedom of speech that we love. This is like 21 minutes in. Let's just get to the
That was
punchline.
maybe my fault
Between
for
the
doing.
ages of 18 and 34. So all
That's
young
fine.
women, fundamentally.
Who also are opinion setters in a variety of ways that are important for the culture and how the
Right,
culture.
right,
Okay.
right. And that you've
Let him
seen
talk,
that
Jordy.
their political views about the U.S. and about Israel, for example, given the state of the Middle East at the moment,
Right.
are
Oh, the state of
wildly
it.
skewed in contrast to virtually all other demographic groups in the United States.
Okay.
And that they primarily get their information from TikTok.
Should be allowed.
Well, that's the punchline.
Yeah,
So
okay.
when we
That's why
went,
we gotta ban
Told
it.
you.
That's
Okay,
why we
so
gotta
how
ban
do
it.
you see
Fingers.
the practically speaking, how do you see the trail of causality, let's say, between the...
So Jordan Peterson, to my understanding, was hooked on antidepressants, but he also has something weird with his diet because, like, he only eats red meat. Like, he and his daughter are both on, like, a red meat only, like steak only diet. So they already get kind of weird experiences when they like drink apple cider, for example. So there was that going on. But he was also on antidepressants. Not methadone. Benzos, there it is. Thank you, Google AI. Yes, it was benzos that he was addicted to. And so that was the trifecta. Antidepressants, a weird fucking diet, and benzos. All right, please don't be walking towards me. Fantastic, you're not. I love seeing that. Okay, this is actually going to go pretty good.
Behind the scene. Right.
By the way, Power Crisis, we might have to add the Penguin to our watch list. I keep seeing on X the Everything app how fucking awesome the Penguin is. So, even though we're already inundated with stuff to watch and no time to watch it, because of the great wheel that is our lives, crushing us underneath it, we may have to add Penguin to our watch list.
TikTok, American young women, and let's say the campus protests that have been going on forever since, well, everywhere since October 7th.
It's important to acknowledge
that... Whoa. Hey, can I get a word in here? Hi, you're in my reactionary distance too. Hi, shut up. Let me get a word in.
Nice that it wasn't my fault, but
I know you guys
I feel bad for the
speech,
priest.
Ban them. Ban them all, right? Oh yeah, this is a great one. This is a real banger here.
Yeah, hit me with the low Power Crisis.
You know, the
very apt.
protests are evil. TikTok's evil. You know.
So yeah, on that boss, he periodically spawns 2 elementals that... Oh, and I guess people are giving up on the key then. Okay, well, you know. Rip. Unfortunate. I would have still preferred to complete the key, but yes, that boss periodically spawns 2 elementals that fixate on 2 different players. And if the elemental gets to the player, the elemental explodes and kills everyone. And so while there are abilities that say I can use to contribute to root and slow and bind a elemental that is chasing someone, if that person has the elemental spawn right next to them and they don't move away in time, no, we lost catastrophically. We died to a boss, and then 3 people in the group all left immediately. So that does happen sometimes, where people care more about timing the key than about getting the loot at the end, which makes no sense to me, because there is a very valuable trinket at the end of that dungeon for me. But for them, they say, fine, if we're not going to time this key, we're just going to leave. And because there's no penalty for that, they can just go right back into the dungeon finder and try and find a new group. That is often what people will do. Less often in my experience in recent years, but definitely when I first started playing World of Warcraft 6 or 7 years ago now, that was very common behavior. One big mistake, everybody bails. But the good news is that doesn't happen so often nowadays. Just, I guess, unfortunate that it happened there. But since we had an unexpected end of that dungeon, and I have heard the plaintive cries of my sweet babies, I'm going to take a quick kitty break and check on them. I want to make sure they're okay. I don't normally hear them crying like that.
What is it?
hang out. Is everything okay? Is it because your food bowl's empty? Oh, you gotta put the kiddo to bed? Okay, Power Crisis. Well, thanks for stopping by. And I'm glad I was able to show some gameplay this time. That's not always the case, as you've seen. So even though it had a sad ending, it was still a fun little bit. So you're not crying now. You're not crying now. You feel better, honey? You feel better, honey? You feel better? You babies want more food, don't you? Oh, it's Bernard. Hello, Bernard. Well, no wonder they need more food. They've got Bernard with them as well. Yes, I'm explaining to the stream. We're gonna get you more food right now. We're gonna get you baby more food right now. That was certainly an unfortunate outcome. We were cruising right along. We were having a real good frickin' time. And then one guy made one mistake, and it thankfully wasn't me. It thankfully wasn't me. Thank God. Definitely sucks to be the guy that made the mistake. But if it were up to me, I would have done that to completion. I don't know if bailing on that key is best, but they clearly thought it was. I guess there's a certain logic to it in the sense that they presume that we can only beat that boss on Tyrannical with Lust, and we use Lust on that pull, and so we wouldn't have Lust back again if we pulled it a second time, and we would theoretically perform worse, and so we'd be waiting until basically the key timed out in order to be able to have Lust back, and then even then we might not get it. So I guess I can see the logic to bailing, but I don't know, man. Feels like a shitty thing to do. Feels like a shitty thing to do. Anyway, let's get back to our
maybe there's too much. I don't know. Maybe there's too much free speech. I don't know. Maybe the things that people are saying that aren't in line with what the people who pay us tell us to say, maybe that should be stopped. And the video is called Foreign Psyops in the USA.
Oh, great.
Oh, good name.
Or cultural matter or sexual
and if
matter.
it's the wrong opinion, you're dead.
It's impossible if your brain hasn't been sufficiently trained.
Exactly.
We need to move back to disciplines within their own, like ethics that exist within fields.
Exactly.
But there's no reason why a college should be issuing a statement about every ceasefire agreement that happens around the world. They're endless. Why are we focusing so much attention on these specific things? And the other thing that we found that was quite extraordinary is that America, we have a lot of problems that we need to fix here.
No, it's fine. Take it
so
back.
I'm under no illusion about that.
Shut up,
But
man.
America is in enormous agreement about a lot of things.
I disagree.
America is sort of foundationally good and still oriented to what America was with its values. And we can talk about that a little bit more later.
That's what I've been
But
saying.
we're unthrall to, I think, two major factors. Foreign psychological operations that are being run here. We see that in the university. We certainly see it through social media.
Okay.
And a sort of profit center within the U.S. of people who profit from us being constantly outraged all the time.
Sounds familiar. Yeah, you know,
I wonder who those guys are.
This is a video about psychological operations. Ooh. This is a video about psychological operations, and this guy's like, hey, you know, any media, social media, whatever, that doesn't match my nutty worldview, that's coming from a foreign threat. They're getting this from foreign threats, which kind of opens the door to, you know, I don't want to say banning, but I will say it. I love this guy because he's like, you know, anybody who disagrees with me, that's a foreign PSYOP campaign. And maybe should be banned. But at the same time, he's like, you know, it's crazy. It's crazy how
divided we are.
I'm really going to bring people together with this message. If you disagree with me, you're doing the work of foreign agents. Yeah, I don't know if that's going to work. I don't know if it's going to work. I don't know if your project... I don't know if your project is headed towards success, my man. I guess his plan to bring people together... Oh, we're so divided. Oh. I guess his plan to bring people together is them not watching media that he doesn't agree with. It kind of sounds like. Or coming to conclusions based on, you know, reporting and stuff that he doesn't like. Just get rid of that. That's what will bring us together.
Yeah, that's what they do.
So there's no reason that we can't go into, a private company can't say, look, we've identified 150 to 250 people who are clearly bent on sowing chaos, terrorizing
Here
America.
They are.
Based on what you believe,
the processes that we have undertaken. They're completely transparent.
And it doesn't necessarily mean you even deplatform them, but could you perhaps turn down their reach that you're taking advantage of for profit because they're driving outrage and hatred, and more people are turned into a swirl of hatred?
Get
that
Elon
is
Musk
not a good long-term strategy.
Whoa. Hey, shut up, please. Get Elon Musk on it, I said. Kick off journalists we don't like, all this crap. Sounds good. That sounds as good as...
A cat playing with each other and saying how much they love each other.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, you know, this guy's still getting views. Jordan, somehow, still got a very loyal following, still making a bundle of money. So it's still very funny. He's always talking about, like, you need to be a man. You need to be a man. You need to be a man. You need to toughen up, you know, stand up for what you believe in, you know? By the way, if you give me money, I'll say anything. This is the same guy who was just like, 20 minutes ago complaining that he had to take a class to stop harassing people on Twitter, you know? He's like, that's censorship. They're trying to keep me down. Also, you know, Daily Wire's paying me a bunch. Yeah, we should censor. Just no conviction, no belief, just pure, like, who will give me money? Hell yeah to Jordan. I look at him and I say,
this is a human man.
And
a cat playing with each other and saying how much they love each other.
He's both. Well, guys, it's Wednesday. Okay. I'm listening.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Not the worst of days. Certainly not the best. But I hope you're having a good day. You know, if not, then it's not my problem, frankly. None of my business, frankly. But before we get out of here, your moment of zen. Oh, wait, sorry, that's copyrighted. Your moment of...
You're already out of this conversation. Stop the video.
Hey.
Go watch a video with the sound of waves coming in, right? Or go listen to some white noise or a cat playing with each other and saying how much they love each other, because I'm not your cup of tea.
Hey, Dron Lajammies here. Hey, guys, please, for God's sake, help the channel out. Go subscribe to the What the Hose of the social accounts known as Instagram and TikTok. Official RM Brown. Wow.
Yeah,
they are trying to ban us because we are frankly, a little too honest and a little too real.
That's a big problem these days.
Anyway, guys, thanks for the support of Neil LeDron James. I'm not shocked by it. Let's just say that. The kind of obsession with LeDron James. Let me just say this. I get it. Okay. Anyway. Hey, if you want to get it, and by it, I mean the videos you're missing, hello. Subscribe on Patreon. You can find a link in the description. It'll take you right there. And good Lord, I cannot believe it that it's allowed. That it's legally allowed to miss these other videos. There's important information in there. Anyway, I gotta get that hell out of here. Talk to you later. Bye.
A fantastic RM Brown joint. Trick is still deadlocking it up, so let's enjoy some more news.
Here's some news. Don't worry, folks. We're keeping it light again today. A couple weeks ago, we distracted ourselves from the dreaded election by just clowning on the Cybertruck for an hour. And so this week, we're keeping that accelerator stuck, going full throttle after we activate a few screens and authenticate our touch key app lock, and then troubleshoot until we realize we need the latest patch update, which we can't download because the update is what we need in order to get the Wi-Fi to work. Indeed. Vroom vroom. We're looking at the election and going full speed away, covering our anxious reality with fingerprint smudges, something that's like rust but isn't rust, and complete denial that anything else is going on in the news right now. We decided to spend this episode mostly just talking about cute animals. It's gonna be a real adorable one, folks. We're talking cats, we're talking dogs, we're talking all kinds of pets. Do we have a clip?
In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there.
Amazing.
Oh, no.
Incredible.
But oh yes, that was indeed former president and possible future president again, Donald John Melius Trump, waxing...
Who will add supplanting Grover Cleveland as the only president to serve 2 non-consecutive terms in the White House. It's all the Cleveland family has going for them now. And this son of a bitch is going to ruin Trivial Pursuit for everyone.
Poetic to the entire nation about how immigrants are eating people's pets. He was alluding to some specific places and a specific alleged real-world problem in order to highlight a broad concern and to make a broader point about the issue of immigration to the American people. In this case, that specifically in Springfield, Ohio, immigrants are eating people's pets. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets, as he said. And it's because of the Democrats that millions of immigrants are here, and Joe Biden sent hundreds of thousands of them across the country, and in many cases, Kamala Harris bussed thousands of them in herself. Do we have a clip? Not how it goes. The least how it goes it's ever been. I don't think I'm being uncharitable when I say that the broad point being made by Trump's example is immigrants are a threat to your way of life. The savages are no longer at the wall, which is unclear if we still need to build, but they are in your neighborhoods, eating your pets.
It's too late.
And I don't think I'm being unreasonable by saying that if you hadn't been following politics online for the previous few days, or as we'll learn, weeks and months, then you probably watched the former and current one of two candidates to be president say that immigrants are eating people's dogs and cats, and you probably thought something like,
what the fuck?
Wait, what? Did he just say they're eating people's pets? You might have even then thought, that's a f***ed up thing to say, but this is supposed to be a really cute episode about pets. So let's go to Trump's pet with Trump's pet's pet. And that person seen there just after being explained leashes for the first time, although he is not the originator of the claims, has claimed ownership of them. Obviously, Trump said it, and he says a lot of bizarre and terrible things. But by all accounts, J.D. Vance has become the face of the immigrants are eating your pets media story, in that he purports to believe it, spread it, quadruple down on it, and continues to be trotted out by Trump's campaign in support of it, whether or not it's even true.
The American media totally ignored this stuff until Donald Trump and I started talking about cat memes. If I have to,
but it wasn't just a meme,
create stories so that the American media actually pays attention to the suffering of the American people, then that's what I'm going to do, Dana, because you guys are completely.
I'm going to lie to get attention.
Coast.
You just said that this is a story that you created. So the eating dogs and cats thing is not.
We are
accurate.
creating. We are. Dana, it comes from firsthand accounts from my constituents. I say that we're creating a story, meaning we're creating.
Yeah, we're just lying to get attention, not a big deal.
It would be nice occasionally if a Dana Bash type would prod a little further when presented with these types of vague, cutesy phrasings.
Just do a little bit more work, Dana, please.
Okay, you're saying it's just cat memes. Describe the memes. What are they alluding to? What are they insinuating? What is the message of the meme? That's what memes are, right? Little cultural messengers, sometimes jokes, often propaganda. Because the message of these just cat memes seems to be that Donald Trump is going to save the civilized people from the pet-eating savages who've been sneakily brought here by nefarious forces. More on all that later, but to be clear and fair, and the other one, JD is not saying that the stories aren't true, or that they are true, but that they're not kind of untruly false. It's like jazz. It's the lies you don't tell. Or, as we'll see, the lies you just keep on telling, man. You gotta stop, JD. You gotta stop, man. JD later clarified the meaning of his I make media stories admission later at a rally.
What I said is that we create media stories. In other words, we focus the people's attention on what's already going on. Do you, does anybody really think, I challenge you, go to Springfield, Ohio, which has been overwhelmed by 20,000 Haitian immigrants. Go to any community that's been overwhelmed by Kamala Harris's illegal alien policies and tell me that these are stories made up by politicians. These are stories that people have been living for months or in some cases years. The only thing that Donald Trump and I did is highlight it and focus on it so you guys would stop ignoring the American people.
I challenge ya. Livin', totally natural. But also, all y'all gotta calm down there, fellas. He didn't say he made up stories, even though, yes, he did. He simply is saying that he said, we create media stories, which again, sounds like lying for the purposes of propaganda. But his definition of what he's doing, which we will take in good faith for no good reason because he doesn't deserve it, is, in his words, we focus the people's attention on what's already going on. But okay then, let's do that. What was already going on that the Donald Trump will save immigrants from eating your cats memes needed to bring the people's attention to? What was already going on? Where were these claims even coming from? How did J.D. Vance first try to focus the people's attention on what's already going on? Well, in early September, he tweeted, "Months ago, I raised the issue of Haitian illegal immigrants draining social services and generally causing chaos all over Springfield, Ohio. Reports now show that people have had their pets abducted and eaten by people who shouldn't be in this country. Where is our border czar?" Now, this is true. He did bring up the issue of Haitian migrants a bit earlier. Not about pets being abducted and eaten by foreign invaders, but about foreign invaders taking everybody's homes and stuff. We will absolutely Omega promise to get back to that one instance of him bringing that up. But first, we want to get to the bottom of the media story he's creating in order to focus on what's really going on. As he wrote in the tweet on the website Twitter, reports are showing that people who shouldn't be in this country are abducting and eating other people's pets. As his running mate and our former president said a day later,
they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there.
That was September 10th. So close. And Vance's tweet was September 9th. So this moment from Donald Trump appears to be some sort of trickle-up situation. Trump got it from JD. And so where did Vance get it from? To hear JD tell it, it's from his constituents. His constituents who moved there over the last few years? Of course not. They don't count because they can't legally vote for him. But then I also thought that all these migrants were imported here to illegally vote, so I guess they do vote, so they are your constituents, so I guess you should care? Also, they're human beings living in Ohio, so consider that too. Anyway, before September 9th,
all right, let's do an Arakara.
You may have seen a few very popular posts containing rumors
Let's
about
do
this. For example,
an Arakara.
on September 7th, this professional fraud and liar, Ian Miles Chong, posted about this woman from Ohio who ate a cat, coyly adding, "How does something like this happen?" Now, this woman did apparently kill someone's cat and attempt to eat it in front of people. This woman, however, is not from Springfield, but rather Canton, Ohio. And this woman, who happens to be black, is also not a Haitian migrant. Now, you may be saying, but Ian didn't say she was Haitian or an immigrant or that being Haitian was bad. He merely asked how something like that happens. To which I say, you fucking rube, you absolute slob brain. All you need to do is look at the top reply, a blue check, of course, thank you, Elon, which asks, drugs? To which that wormy little guy replied, worse, Haitians. But that's just one lying fascist propagandist and one example of Haitians eating pets in Springfield that turned out to be false.
A racist theory.
Sure, there are many more examples, and those ones will be true this time. And that will be where J.D. Vance, a guy who wants to be vice president of an entire country of people, got his lie from, and then gave it to Donald Trump.
All right, as usual, we...
who wants to be the president of that entire country. Going back in time, even further in time, on September 6th, a different
Good news is I shouldn't have to worry about bloodlust because we've got a mage.
Collaborator and fascist rat fucker Jack Posobiec posted these two images.
All I gotta do is
one
play.
Of a Facebook post and one
I'm
of
gonna
a man
play.
on a street holding
I'm gonna
what
play and
appear
I'm
to
gonna
be
pray.
geese, along with the text, Springfield is a small town in Ohio. 4 years ago, they had 60,000 residents. Under Harris and Biden, 20,000 Haitian immigrants were shipped to the town. Now, ducks and pets are disappearing. We'll come back to those specific claims later because they are essentially the claims Vance continues to make. But right now, we're going to focus on the person who happens to be black outside carrying what appear to be two geese. You might be thinking, how do we know that man is from Springfield? How do you know that man is Haitian?
How do you
know
know
what's up with those geese or what he's gonna do with those geese? To which I say, good point, not a rube. As it turns out, thanks to an exclusive from, yes, TMZ, the man is from Columbus, Ohio, and according to the Ohio Division of Wildlife, was picking up two geese that were hit in a car accident. Also, according to that Ohio Division of Wildlife, there's no evidence that he's an immigrant or Haitian or was going to eat the geese. This dovetails with a social media influencer who attended a Springfield Town Commission meeting. In his speech, shared by both Elon Musk and J.D. Vance, he mentions the geese rumor as well.
They're in the park grabbing up ducks by their neck and cutting their head off and walking off with them and eating them like.
Some picture and a guy saying it? Now that's gotta be true.
Yeah, it's gotta be real if some guy's saying it.
Clip said they don't know anything about the cats and dogs, and the geese thing was actually just a rumor he heard. So, okay, but you said it was a thing that happened. You described it like you saw it, but okay, it's a rumor. We seem to be experiencing the start of a pattern where JD says that all of these claims, direct quote, come from first-hand accounts from my constituents. But that doesn't turn out to be true. And of course, yes, that lie is still up. But what about the rest of the lies, you ask? Good point. Let's keep digging. Oh, it's a very shallow hole. Excellent. Okay, so the one on the left is also not true. The now deleted Facebook post was put up by Springfield resident Erica Lee on September 5th and alleged that her neighbor's daughter's friend had lost their cat and eventually found it dead and strung up outside one of their Haitian neighbors' homes. Now, a stolen and dead pet put on display for the entire neighborhood to see seems like something that would be at least reported to the police. It
or
was
maybe
not,
be in the news
but
in some way.
It was redacted as a thing that happened. Lee and her neighbor Kimberly Newton, who originally told her the story, were interviewed by NewsGuard. And here's what Newton, who the poster heard it from, told them. I'm not sure I'm the most credible source, great start, because I don't actually know the person who lost the cat. The person who lost the cat, she said, was an acquaintance of a friend. That friend learned about it from not her acquaintance who lost her cat, but from a source that she had. She also said, I don't have any proof, which, don't worry, Kimberly, we didn't think you did. So to sum up, the apparent source
she learned it from a source.
Former President
We
Trump
got ourselves
said
a real
was
Bob
deleted
Woodward
post
here.
written by a woman who heard it from a neighbor, who heard it from a friend, who was an acquaintance of the victim, but heard about it from someone else. Just gonna let that breathe. The poster, Lee, added something that perhaps a lot of people involved in this should be thinking, even though they won't. Quote, it just exploded into something I didn't mean to happen. Exactly what I said on prom night. Waka waka. Anyway,
Waka waka.
It seems that this Facebook post is where a lot of far-right activists started spreading the rumor up to the president. Former president. None of it substantiated, of course,
Future
despite
president?
people like Christopher Rufo literally offering money for any evidence. Please, Paul, please, you gotta give me some evidence. I'll be good, I swear.
Please help us make it be
this
real.
Offer of thousands of dollars for any
We
evidence
need it to
of
be
this
real,
pet eating seems to have come
please.
up short. But shoot, let's give it one more shot.
We've lost a whole bunch of cats. There was a van pulled over that had over 100 cats in it with the Haitians. They said they was eating them.
Actually?
Yeah.
Not fake news.
Not fake news.
So a van was collecting cats and eating them.
I watched it happen, yeah. Watched them get pulled over with the cats and admit to the police that they was eating them.
You're not joshing with me.
No, I'm almost 50 years old, buddy. I don't know.
The obviousness, the brazen, craven lying is pathetic and incredible to see. It's just two guys like, hey, you lying? Oh, you know I'm lying. You want to lie with me? Oh, hell yeah, brother. Let's just keep on lying to each other. It is tragic and embarrassing that this was posted and shared and believed by even some people. You see, the Haitians were in a van. You know, just some Haitians, right? And they had a van, and in that van was 100 cats. You hear me? And the police pulled over that van of Haitians and their 100 cats in the van with them. And the Haitians told the police, they were like, hey, police. And they told the police they were going to eat those 100 cats in their van. What can you even say at this point? All of these absurd lies and easily debunked claims are what vice presidential candidate J.D. Vance is propping up. These are the claims that he's concerned about, that he thinks are a legitimate, useful tool to bring attention to his real concerns. But maybe all of these obvious lies and debunked claims aren't the ones Vance is concerned about. We don't want to just assume that all of these obvious lies and debunked claims are the stories that Vance himself believes or wants you to believe. Maybe there's some kind of real concrete evidence about a cat being stolen and eaten by a Haitian migrant in Springfield, Ohio that he can point to. And wouldn't you know it, there is! Yes, a Vance spokesperson actually provided the Wall Street Journal with an actual police report. Huzzah. Of course, it's a little weird that JD would even bother looking for evidence, since, according to him, it doesn't matter if it's true, and he, in fact, by his own admission, had to invent the story. But okay, great. A solemn huzzah. Evidence of this legitimate concern. Not a Facebook post from a woman who had a neighbor, who had a friend, who had a source about an acquaintance of that friend evidence. But still pretty good. A police report from August about a resident who couldn't find her cat, and so called the police because
I feel like we have to
tunnel
the boss here.
A resident who, when a journalist simply asked her about it, revealed that she found the cat a couple days later in her basement. So, thanks to JD for your complete waste of time.
We're cruising along.
By which I mean you. That police report, of course, appears to also have been posted by the crypto-Nazi account End Wokeness. That's so weird how he's always
Ooh, the crypto-Nazi account run by Jack Posobiec called End Wokeness, where it's been proven that's actually Jack Posobiec that runs it. It's crazy.
Right before the things happen. Though one should note that End Wokeness / probably Jack Posobiec tags the account that obtained the report, an account called Oversight PR, which, wouldn't you know it by clicking on it and looking, is an arm of the Heritage Foundation. So that's interesting. You know, the Heritage Foundation that's behind Project 2025, but has nothing to do with Trump or their campaign or plans, despite all of the evidence to the contrary. And also, here they are providing a police report so that J.D. Vance's campaign can keep failing to prove a lie in order to push for mass deportations. That one? Yeah, that one. Now, at this point, you might be thinking, hey, quit guessing what I'm thinking. Also, hey,
clairvoyance is
annoying. This is all a bit so very silly. Because it is. It's okay to think that. It is very silly.
It's pretty silly.
I'm just going to say it, okay? Cancel me if you have to. I don't think there were 100 cats in that van. Sorry. But what if I told you that it's not just silly, but it's also
dangerous.
Racist?
Yeah.
And no, JD, I don't mean in the Mountain Dew is racist way. Ha ha ha, chuckle,
Ha
chuckle.
ha ha
Love
ha.
you
Good
folks.
one.
Ya are so good. Love ya. No, what I mean is, well, remember that clip I showed you of the guy and the 100 cats in the van and how silly it was? Well, because we're fair and balanced here, I didn't want to taint your opinion of the matter by first showing you an earlier part of that expose talking to residents of Springfield. This earlier part.
Don't wave at me, you sorry f***ing sand monkey.
Don't worry, he says it more later in the video too. Interesting dynamic developing here though, wouldn't you say? So no, JD, I don't mean Mountain Dew racism, nor do I really mean in the way that should already be obvious. That it's f***ed up and
DPS needs to pick up. Well, I'm pumping as hard as I can, brother.
Rumors of a few instances of alleged barbarity in order to demonize an entire group of people. That's something that JD Vance isn't stupid enough to not understand. There's a reason he called Trump America's Hitler, but we'll get back to that. Right now, we've got some other different Nazis to talk about, because here's some more news. A day after the maybe future president again, Trump, said illegal immigrants are eating people's dogs and cats and pets, the founder of a neo-Nazi group called Blood Tribe went on Telegram to declare victory, writing that Blood Tribe pushed Springfield into the public consciousness. Eagle-eared listeners might recognize that we spread a lie so that people would focus on this place is almost exactly what JD Vance said he was doing.
Yeah.
Creating stories so that people would pay attention to Springfield. But we'll come back to that. Right now, we're finding out one of the big twists, that the thing that sounded like a racist Nazi lie turned out to be that. The neo-Nazi group Blood Tribe has apparently been on the Haitians are eating your pets beat for much longer than Riz Master General JD Vance. While various rumors and complaints started popping up on local Facebook groups back in late June about Haitian children chasing ducks and geese, the savages! Over the following weeks, the posts from anonymous users started to veer into, and now they're eating them territory. Do we have a clip of the concerned citizens watching children chase ducks?
They're eating her! And then they're going to eat me! Oh my God!
Just the kind of standard, level-headed post one would see on the Facebook.com. Over the summer, this Nazi group became more intertwined with the issue of Haitian migration into Springfield, Ohio. In August, Blood Tribe marched in Springfield under, say it with me, swastika flags, and, say it with me,
bro hit us with the I don't know why my DPS is so low. Brother, me neither. I don't know either.
Down, and I ain't saying that's right and I ain't saying it's wrong. But look, let's think about it. I'm 36 years old, and in 36 years, that's the first time I've ever seen the neo-Nazis rally in our city.
It's okay, you can say it's wrong. I'm not saying it's right, and I'm not saying it's wrong is a wild thing to say about a neo-Nazi rally.
I'm not saying it's right, and I'm not saying it's wrong.
I'm not saying it's right, and I'm not saying it's wrong.
I'm the ultimate centrist when it comes to Nazi rallies.
Anyway, despite that guy only knowing about the one neo-Nazi rally and not saying if it's right or wrong, there is a neo-Nazi group there. A couple weeks after the march, that particular chapter's leader could be seen at the Springfield City Commission meeting, issuing a warning about the migrants.
I've come to bring a word of warning. Stop what you're doing before it's too late.
Chaos Magi died. That's unfortunate.
Crime and savagery
have to
will only
pump even harder, I guess.
with every Haitian you bring in. And with it, public frustration and anger.
You sound threatening to me. I'm gonna
Based on the comments
if I could
tonight,
ask the police to go ahead.
I'm sure I don't need to tell you that.
Just sound threatening if you go ahead and just peacefully be removed.
He was promptly removed for the weirdly worded threat and on account of him being literally a Nazi. There goes the tolerant left kicking out Nazis. You may recognize that meeting because it's the same one attended by that social media influencer who said the Haitians were grabbing and cutting the heads off of and eating ducks from the pond, and then later said it was a rumor even though he originally just said it was happening. So a social media influencer and a Nazi walk into a town hall meeting. Stop me if you've heard this one before.
Yeah,
Blood
I
Tribe
have,
posts
sadly.
were put up on Telegram and Gab in early August, featuring various racial epithets as well as claims of rumors about Haitian migrants eating domesticated pets and ducks from ponds. Then, curiously, right-wing freaks like End Wokeness and Jack Posobiec started posting about the rumors in Springfield. Then JD and Elon
This
did,
part's
even though
kinda
everything they
icky.
posted was debunkable lies. And then, of course,
they're eating the dogs, the people that came in.
all okay.
They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets.
Ah, from the mouths of babes. Wait, Nazis. From the mouths of Nazis. Just want to establish that and make it clear. Donald Trump ranting about how they're eating dogs and cats and pets is a rumor with zero evidence perpetuated by Nazis in order to bring attention to their desire to mass deport millions of people. That's what happened here. And
Pressing
that's just
on,
the eating
one
cats
boss
claim.
to go.
There are
You know, I've done so little Arakara. I didn't realize Arakara was a 3-boss dungeon, but it looks like in the same way Mists of Tirna Scythe is good on tyrannical weeks, there only being 3 bosses in here is good for us too.
Other parts of this, and as JD tried to say and then tried to clarify poorly a bunch more times, he's merely using the
DK, please don't hit A-bomb limb on the last
to
boss.
acknowledge that maybe it's a harmful lie, but he wants to bring attention to other problems, mainly that Kamala Harris and the Biden administration shipped
It will kill
20,000
people,
illegal
has been
immigrants to Springfield,
called.
Ohio, and those illegal immigrants who may or may not be eating people's pets are a drain on the community and are problem drivers and need to be mass deported because we need to focus on American problems. And I'm sure JD Vance totally wants to support the programs and services that the Haitians are taking advantage of with their thuggish looting, etc. So when we come back, we're going to examine how
This is a bit more yapping than I
cat-named
generally like to
Haitian
see in my
migrants
Mythic
even
Plus
got to
groups, but
Springfield,
it's
Ohio.
working.
Did future former Vice President Kamala Harris bust 20,000 of them from Haiti to Ohio? Can one drive to Ohio from Haiti? Where is Haiti? The Caribbean? Ooh la la, that sounds nice. I bet it's nice. Why come here? Also, when we come
because
back,
of shit that we did to their
Haiti
country.
is or isn't nice. Ads.
Hey there, honey buns. You know, hair and thinning hair is just like the ocean. Some people embrace it, others fear it. And it's filled with sharks. So whether or not you were a man or woman at birth, you may perhaps be concerned about thinning hair. I know I have.
And
been.
why wouldn't you
I'm
be?
shedding like wild these days, folks. Well, my sweet, sweet, delicious honey buns, Nutrafol is the #1 dermatologist-recommended hair growth supplement brand trusted by over 1 million people. See thicker, stronger, faster-growing hair with less shedding in just 3 to 6 months with Nutrafol. They have formulas for men and women because hair issues aren't caused by just one thing. It could be hormonal or lifestyle related. Maybe, I don't know, maybe the sharks ate it. I know that's what I'm dealing with. My point is, no matter why, Nutrafol will help. So get results you can run your fingers through. For a limited time, Nutrafol is offering our listeners $10 off your first month's subscription and free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com and enter the promo code MORENEWS. Find out why over 4,500
get him,
healthcare
snail.
professionals and stylists
Get him,
recommend
my
Nutrafol for healthier
snail.
hair. Nutrafol.com, spelled Nutrafol.com. Promo code More News. That's Nutrafol.com. Promo code
This is
More
good.
News.
Cody's
We're on
a-blowin'.
pace.
Coming in over the shoulder he is. I'm Cody, and I'm here to tell you all about AG1. I dabble in AG1 for these ads, as you may know. Sometimes I'll drink it on days when I need a little nutrition boost, or honestly, I just like the taste. It doesn't taste like vitamins or kale or whatever, despite having a bunch of vitamins and whatnot. And according to AG1, it helps with digestion and gut health. Keeps you regular. I certainly feel regular. Toilet stuff. Also, it's got vitamins and minerals and all the stuff you'd get in a supplement. But again, it tastes good. Sweeter than you'd think. I want to say creamy. Can I say that? Am I allowed to say that? You know what? I'll just drink it and you can see my satisfied face. That's a fake smile. It tastes good. It's a satisfied face. Because AG1 has no added sugar. It's made from bioavailable ingredients designed to make it work with your juicy body. It fills your nutrient gaps on those days when you just can't get a full meal, and it tastes yumbo. It's yumbo in your tumbo, as Somebody says that. So start with AG1 and notice
Well,
the
I'm
difference
unfortunately
for
out of
yourself.
range.
It's a great first step to investing in your health, and
Oh,
that's
and
why
I unfortunately
they've been
died.
a proud partner of mine for so long.
I got twisted
That's
around.
why, too. Try AG1 and get a free bottle of vitamin D3K2 and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first purchase at drinkag1.com/more news. That's a $48 value for free if you go to drinkag1.com. More news/more news. Drinkag1.com/more news. Check it out. Check it out. Welcome back, people and other people. We were just talking about how Vice Presidential candidate J.D. Vance has been working overtime to dectuple down on the president, yelling on stage that illegal immigrants are eating people's dogs and cats and pets. A claim that originated by vague, unsubstantiated rumors, possibly from neo-Nazis in the area, and boosted and pushed further definitely by those neo-Nazis in the area. But this lie that J.D. Vance continues to lie is immaterial, remember? It's not about the eating the cats, even though keep the cat memes flowing. It's about the concern regarding the 20,000 Haitian
Yeah, we love those fucking
Kamala
cat
Harris,
memes, don't we?
Joe Biden shipped to Springfield, Ohio. So let's keep digging. Maybe not deeper because it's pretty shallow, actually. It's pretty transparent what's going on. But we will certainly dig wider. Let's go back.
At least we will certainly time and perhaps even two chest is key. Perhaps even two chest.
How did
Yeah, we two chested it. Let's fucking go.
Haitians end up in Springfield?
We two chested this puppy.
Okay, well, the 20,000 Haitians. Wait, sorry, it says here 12,000 to 15,000 because that's the number city officials have given, despite Vance and his cohort sticking with 20,000 because 20,000 sounds scarier because big number is scarier number. Okay, so these, I guess, like 13,500 Haitians moved to Springfield because Kamala just kind of shipped them there and dropped them off. This paper keeps saying something other than what JD says. While some of these Haitian migrants are in the country because of the Biden-Harris administration, they're in Springfield because they just sort of moved there over several years because there were jobs available and they knew people there. As Reuters reports, recent and long-standing immigrants said family and social networks, word of mouth, and the quest for higher wages and lower living costs helped draw people to Springfield.
On stream,
Indeed,
that's rude.
many people often do move places due to work or knowing people there. Okay, so they weren't dumped, and there are more than 10,000 of them, and they haven't been eating cats or other pets. But these illegal immigrants they're here legally.
That's good.
Many of the migrant workers had already lived elsewhere in the USA on work permits. Okay, and they're actually not illegal immigrants because they actually had.
Well, that nixes my last 7. I'm officially all 8s and 9s. Over 2,300 rating. This will definitely help me get invited to groups. This is exactly why we put in the time to get our rating up. It will certainly help us get into groups. In fact, all of our dungeons are now pretty close together in terms of score, which means that we're knocking on the door doing some 10s. That means now we can do like 8 to 10. And maybe apply for some 10s. Or, hey, how about this Grimbatal 9? That sounds pretty sick. I tried one of those earlier. Dawnbreaker 9, sign me up.
Their temporary protected status extended by the Biden administration. For many, a status that goes back to the 2010 earthquake, which we'll get to. Although there was a brief period where the status was revoked, which we'll also get to. Now, actually. Okay, so you might remember Haiti from being a country that exists, and more recently and specifically, Haiti is specifically the country that Donald Trump called a shithole country back in like 2018, so not actually that recently. He just didn't want specifically them here. We will unfortunately also get to that, but the point is, many of these migrants, for various reasons, are here seeking asylum.
Flying on down to Dawnbreaker.
Talking about asylum.
They're coming from all over the world, from prisons and jails, mental institutions, and insane asylums.
Why did I even ask? Oh, because he says it funny. I wanted to hear it again. That's right. Anyway, a quick refresher on Haiti is probably in order here. Once known as Saint Domingue by the French, who colonized the west side of the island Hispaniola, nearing the end of the 1700s, the French colony had a population of
Hell
about
yeah,
500,000
dude.
enslaved.
You can't read the chat, but we got Asian characters I don't recognize. I can't tell if it's Chinese or if it's Korean. But that's a hell yeah, because one, that means no talking. My kind of key. Two, means they're probably pretty good at video games. Let's be honest. It means they're probably pretty good at video games.
Who France exploited to enrich themselves through the production of coffee and sugar by using brutal practices that created absolutely horrendous conditions, even by the already unspeakable standards of chattel slavery in the hemisphere. And so, in 1791, the enslaved population rose up and kicked those pissheads out in the world's first and only successful slave rebellion, which concluded in 1804, creating the nation of Haiti. They invented abolishing slavery, and boy, did that bother America. As a Missouri senator said at the time, welcoming a Haitian diplomat would be seen as a reward for the murder of masters and mistresses by black slaves. A South Carolina colleague added that we never can acknowledge Haitian independence.
This cow
the
looks
peace
awesome,
and safety
dude.
of a large portion of our union
Look
forbids
at this
us to
amazing
even
cow.
discuss
Holy
it.
shit.
And so, founding father and then President Thomas Jefferson, who supposedly loved freedom, isolated Haiti both economically and diplomatically. Meanwhile,
Whoops.
Haiti was subsequently forced to pay France reparations for their own freedom, which took them 122 years to do. It's a pretty big burden for a startup country. It wouldn't be until 1862 that the United States would formally recognize Haiti as a sovereign nation. Had to wait until the Civil War had already started. Us too, Haiti, right? Us too, right? But that wasn't the end of the U.S.'s history of screwing over this country. Far from it. Some politicians feel compelled to characterize immigrants coming to America as some sort of invasion. But they're U.S. politicians, so of course they would support
Let's
an actual
fucking go,
invasion,
dude.
as in when the U.S. Marines literally
Nobody in
invaded
here
Haiti
speaks
in
English as far as I know,
and continued
and
to
that's
occupy
fucking
the nation
sick.
for nearly 20 years. Some timeline to note here is that the U.S. invaded Haiti in the middle of 1915 to maintain stability after a series of just so many presidential assassinations. Maybe that's why Trump hates the place so much, actually. That's interesting. Who knows? But before that invasion to maintain stability in 1915, in December of 1914, U.S. Marines also went into Haiti and removed $500,000 from the Haitian National Bank and brought it to New York for safekeeping. So months before the official invasion, the USA had control of Haiti's bank. During this memory hold and little-known forced residency, the United States took further and complete control of the country's finances and military and installed a puppet president, and even conscripted peasants into building roads to support the occupation under armed guard and with no pay.
We did do that
So,
recently.
50 years after the United States finally abolished slavery, 70 years after Haiti did, they reinvented slavery and re-enslaved citizens from the only successful slave rebellion in world history.
Incredible.
But the thing America really wanted from this excursion was to allow for foreign ownership of land. We want our things, okay? We have our business interests. Unfortunately for America, foreign ownership of land had understandably been explicitly banned in the Haitian Constitution following the revolution. So we proceeded to write a new constitution for them.
Hell
Or,
yeah,
as Franklin
dude.
Roosevelt said in 1920,
I'm
the
stuck.
facts are that I wrote Haiti's constitution
stuck.
myself. And if I do say it,
The
I think it's a
hell?
pretty good constitution. He was also Assistant Secretary of the Navy at the time. That seems like a weird task for that position. Like rewriting a nation's constitution should have been for someone with a job that isn't Assistant Secretary of the Navy. Regardless, he apparently did great because the proposed new constitution omitted the foreign ownership ban.
Oh.
And we ran a sham election to adopt that new constitution that we rewrote. During that election, to adopt the new constitution that we rewrote so we could own their land, yes cards were readily available, but voters had to specifically ask armed Marines for the no votes. Unsurprisingly, the new constitution was adopted, paving the way on land we can now own for American companies like the American company North Haitian Sugar Co. or the American company Haitian Pineapple Co. And of course, eventually resulting in a monopoly for the American corporation Standard Fruit Company, now called Dole, on the exportation of bananas. This is why they call them banana republics, folks. It says way more about us than it does about them. Eventually, the US and the Marines all left by 1934. Of course, not before gunning down 12 to 22 Haitians and wounding 21 to 51 others while shooting into a crowd of 1,500 people demonstrating against the occupation of their country.
And that was the last time we ever messed with Haiti, right? That was the last time?
That we re-enslaved.
Right?
But although the Marines left by 1934, as NPR reports, the United States continued to control Haiti's public finances until 1947, siphoning away around 40% of Haiti's national income to service debt repayments to the U.S. and France. Or, put more bluntly, as decorated Marine and eventual anti-war advocate Major General Smedley Butler eventually said,
That's a funny
I
name.
helped make Haiti and Cuba a decent place for the National City Bank boys to collect revenues in. I helped in the raping of half a dozen Central American republics for the benefits of Wall Street. And so, in no small part due to our exploitation of this nation, Haiti was never able to develop any type of sustainable economy, which left them vulnerable to brutal dictators. We actually did an entire video about how the West has screwed over Haiti for centuries if you want to learn more. Because even after all the stuff I just said about the invasion and nation building via slave labor and the rewriting of their constitution so we could own their land and further extract their resources and exploit them, the United States has remained a virtually, if not literally, constant factor in Haiti's business ever since.
Oh,
As
man,
journalist
really?
and author Jonathan Katz summarizes, in the nearly 90 years since that first U.S. occupation ended, U.S. and U.S.-backed forces have remained the most constant factor in Haiti, training and arming Haitian militaries, meddling in elections, and alternately reinstalling and overthrowing Haiti's leaders. In the last 30 years, U.S. troops have invaded or otherwise intervened in Haiti 3 times, in post-coup invasions in 1994 and 2004, and to quell feared unrest, which never materialized, after the 2010 earthquake. Since then, they've had more assassinations as recently as 2021, and gangs have taken over much of the country, including the capital Port-au-Prince, and over 500,000 Haitians have been displaced. And as you probably know by now, tens of thousands of them have come to the United States. And so, considering the fact that the current state of Haiti is in some measure our absolute fault, frankly,
indisputably and
is allow
absolutely
some of them
our fault.
temporary protected status in our country after a series of disasters, both natural and political, created a crisis in their country. Their country that we kind of have been treating like our own country for a long time. But despite this readily available information, there are some conservative freaks who relish their lack of knowledge and are even able to make an entire career by bathing in their utter stupidity.
Nobody thinks that it would benefit America to become more like Haiti. Nobody thinks that. Or I would challenge anyone, if they do think that, to explain how that's the case. Like, in what way could this country be improved by making it more like Haiti?
Now, luckily, this Matt Walsh person is talking to someone who actually knows what they're talking about.
Ryan Grimm, the Grim Reaper
200
himself.
years of American control and extraction in Haiti up to basically now. Walsh, of course, tries to brush it off while acknowledging it, but I just wanted to highlight his initial question. See, when Walsh asks, in what way could this country become more improved by making it more like Haiti? He is implying that Haiti's challenges are a result of some sort of innate deficiency with the Haitian people themselves. That if they come here, they will bring who they are with them. This is the message behind immigrants are eating people's pets, regardless of if you claim to want to use that message to talk about other issues. That is the desired mindset and result of the Nazi lie. In fact, just a few days before filming today's episode, Donald Trump said this.
How about allowing people to come through an open border, 13,000 of which were murderers, many of them murdered far more than one person, and they're now happily living in the United States. You know, now a murderer, I believe this, it's in their genes, and we got a lot of bad genes in our country right now.
Criminal genetics. It's Nazi stuff, folks. There's no other way to put it. It's Nazi
He's doing
stuff.
Nazi stuff,
And as
folks.
Vance has said, it doesn't even matter if any of this is a lie. Of course, neither vice presidential candidate J.D. Vance nor founder of neo-Nazi group Blood Tribe are the first to engage in and admit to this kind of behavior. See, there's an infamous anti-Semitic and conspiratorial book called The Protocols of the Elders of Zion, and it is just full of lies about Jews, to the brim about how everything is the Jews' fault, and also they have plans to take over the world. Portions of it were first serialized in a Russian newspaper in 1903, and after the Russian Revolution in 1917, the anti-Semitic propaganda bravely tread west into Europe and was translated over the following years, eventually getting into American industrialist and Nazi sympathizer Henry Ford's hands.
Henry Ford.
He published his own series of articles, partly based on the protocols, called The International Jew. Nazi Party ideologue Alfred Rosenberg was another fan of the protocols, and in the early 1920s, he introduced the work to Adolf Hitler, who, stop me if you've heard this one, loved it. The interesting and of course,
Adolf
tragic
Hitler,
thing about
okay.
this is not just that the protocols were repeatedly debunked even at the time, like obviously it was easily debunkable nonsense, and was in fact shown to be a forgery and partially plagiarized from a French political satire and a Prussian novel as early as 1921. But also, the Nazis didn't believe it either. Rosenberg wrote in 1934 that it was less the so-called authenticity of the protocols than the inner truth of what is stated. And of course, Joey G, J Gerbs, the gerbil with the...
Oh, I got blasted.
That doesn't really work. Joseph Goebbels wrote in his diary
My shit
in
got blasted,
1924,
bro.
I believe in the inner, but not the factual truth of the protocols. This stuff was taught in Nazi schools. It was a cornerstone of their propaganda. Anyway, speaking of perpetuating a racist lie in order to scapegoat and demonize an entire group, we were talking about J.D. Vance and his weird Nazi lie, and how, according to him, it doesn't matter that it's not true. He posted on some website, it's possible, of course, that all of these rumors will turn out to be false. Yes, it's certainly
That is possible.
Jed. He then listed a few
It
things
is
he'd rather
certainly
talk about
possible.
that aren't just possible, but confirmed, and we'll get to those. But he followed up that website post with, don't let the crybabies in the media dissuade you, fellow patriots, and of course, keep the rat memes flowing. Wait, no, sorry, cat memes. Keep the cat memes flowing. Because surely JD knows what he's doing. He's stupid if he doesn't. Bringing attention to the plights of a town is one thing, but JD, all of those rumors did turn out to be false. And so you've effectively demonized an entire ethnic group based on a lie in service of a project and man who thinks people are bringing
don't
their
wanna die of
criminal
that. That'd be
genetics
really embarrassing.
into our nation and poisoning our blood. And I guess I just have to ask, do you feel good about that? Do you feel good that you brought to the national level false accusations that an entire ethnic group is stealing and eating people's pets when they weren't? Is it being a crybaby to think that that was bad? Because you didn't communicate to the entire country that, oh, somebody ate a person's pet and they're Haitian. What you're communicating to the public is, Haitians eat your pets. That is what you're doing. Because, and I'm sorry I saved this piece of information for this far into the video, do you know who actually did kill some geese in Springfield? Some white American guy shot some geese on some golf course. Just
Nice.
something to note. If you assume
I
Haitians
love
stole
noting
your cat
things.
to eat it, maybe wait a day. It's probably in your basement. If you hear Haitians are killing geese that they shouldn't, Maybe it's actually your uncle. Simon Gulf uncle. Yeah. Hey, remember when Trump called Haiti a shithole country and removed their temporary protected status, and how he seemed to have a particular dislike of specifically Haiti in the very racist meeting that happened early in his presidency that caused those in the meeting to be taken aback? Oh my heavens, if only somebody was there to do something about this
Heavens to
racist
Murgatroyd.
man. So taken aback. Anyway, in a different meeting, he went on a mini rant and specifically referred to Haiti as being full of AIDS or something. Oh yeah, here it is. People in Haiti, quote, all have AIDS. You might recognize this as being another part of his running mate, J.D. Vance's concern about Springfield, that HIV rates are rising. It's from that tweet where he said it doesn't matter if the cat-eating rumors are true because all this other stuff is true. Well, it's not true. It's simply not. It is weird, though, for Trump to single out Haiti specifically, since Haiti's rate of HIV is 2% of the population, and while still relatively high compared to other nations, there are a lot of other countries with much higher rates. For example, South Africa has the fourth highest rate and the highest number. So Donnie, I mean, do you really want this diseased sex pest who by his brother's own admission was an illegal immigrant running the government with you? Get him out of here, Donnie. You gotta kick him out. Kick him out. Kick him out. Kick him. Kick him.
No, he wants to put him in charge of the Government Accountability Office.
Rates in Springfield aren't actually going up. It doesn't matter.
He doesn't know that office exists, by the way, but that's what he wants to
say
do.
That crime is not going up. Cops love to say that crime is going up. Do you think they don't want you to give them more stuff to fight the crime that's going up? But it doesn't matter. Surely crime has to be going up because these people are violent criminals. As the former president recently said, it's in their genes. That social media influencer at the town commission meeting who talked about the geese getting their heads chopped off and eaten, and then he was like, well, that was just a rumor, even though he didn't say it was
just a rumor, man.
Well, he also, in passing, said this.
We gotta do something, bro. It's kids out here getting hurt, like.
As far as I can tell, that's specifically in reference to something that you might recognize from JD's tweet about how it doesn't matter if the cat-eating rumors are true, because all this other stuff is true. Specifically, he says, do you know what's confirmed? That a child was murdered by a Haitian migrant who had no right to be here. Not quite, JD. An 11-year-old boy named Aiden Clark did die in a tragic car accident last year in Springfield, Ohio, when a Haitian migrant collided with a school bus. He did not have a valid U.S. driver's license at the time.
Have to kill more
and was
for
sentenced
count?
to at least 9 years in prison for involuntary manslaughter and vehicular homicide.
Why
I know
would
the
Tab
homicide
target
in there
target
makes it sound
those?
like murder, but that's just the legal
Why would
term
that?
for when a person's illegal or negligent operation of a motor vehicle leads to the death of another individual. But if someone's killed in a car accident due to someone else's negligence, is it murder? I mean, that might be something a distraught parent might say. You murdered my son, but it's weird for a vice president to say it. Also, it's the exact opposite of what the parents say.
To clear the air, my son, Aiden Clark.
This nine's going pretty
was not
smooth,
murdered.
not gonna lie. We're having a
He
pretty
was
smooth
accidentally
9 here.
killed by an immigrant from Haiti.
Aiden's father specifically calls out Vance and Trump for being morally bankrupt and politicizing his son's death. He urges acceptance and a push against this hatred in order to, as he and Aiden's mom say, live like Aiden. It's very sweet and brave of them to have done that, especially when there could have been Nazis there. I encourage you to watch it if you want to.
Yeah, they're in America. Good chance of that.
Aiden's parents, though, aren't the only ones urging more compassion and basic reason and decency. Yes, I'm about to read this right, Libs of TikTok fan responded to Miss of TikTok about their post claiming that Kamala is bussing in migrants. The Libs of TikTok
Yeah, she's
fan,
bussing
and
all
by the
right.
way, also Republican state senator, was just like, listen, ma'am, I love your posts about gay and trans people, but this isn't true. She explains how it's not true and how she knows it's not true, and explains how these kinds of lies can be really harmful to good, hardworking people in the community. Miss of TikTok doesn't really respond to the substance, and she attacks
Now it's
the
down
woman,
to
which the Republican state
rationing.
senator explains that there's no uptick in drugs or crime, and how she's securing funding for drivers' education and teachers and
Now
addressing
it's
these
down
problems.
to
In fact,
rationing.
according to State Highway Patrol data, last year saw the fewest crashes in Springfield in 5 years, and
All
the
right,
most responsible
let's get it.
incidents
Let's fucking get
to
it.
mature drivers. But let's say that it is a problem. That guy who said the goose rumor happened, in his speech that Elon and Vance loved so much, he starts talking about how the people on the council need to actually do something, or the police should be teaching Haitians how to drive, or something, etc., and so forth.
Someone's got to do something.
Yeah, they are. They're doing those things. The governor said there should be a driver's education requirement for adults to get their license. And yeah, it shouldn't have taken racism to do that. But yes, even a Libs of TikTok fan can recognize